All glory goes to our power, Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Ruhakadesh. Greetings to all the Israelites, including the Israelite foreigners. What's up, brothers and sisters? We're going to get edified right now with the book of Zechariah. You know what I'm saying? We're going to call this video the restoration of Judah and Israel. You know what I'm saying? Let's start with Zechariah chapter 13. Idolatry cut off. In the day a fountain shall be opened for the house of David and for the inhabitants of Jerusalem for sin and for uncleanness. It shall be in that day, says the Most High, that I will cut off the names of the idols from the land, and they shall no longer be remembered. I will also cause the prophet and the unclean spirit to depart from the land. It shall come to pass that if anyone still prophesies, then his father and mother who begot him will say to him, You shall not live, because you have spoken lies in the names of the Most High. And his father and mother who begot him shall trust him through when he prophesies it. And it shall be in that day that every prophet will be ashamed of his vision when he prophesies it. They will not wear a robe of coarse hair to deceive, but he will say, I am not a prophet, I am a farmer, for a man taught me to keep cattle from my youth. And one will say to him, What are these wounds between your arms? Then he will answer, Those with which I was wounded in the house of my friends. The shepherd's savior says here, Awake, O sword, against my shepherd, against the man who is my companion, says the Most High. Strike the shepherd, and the sheep will be scattered. Then I will turn my hand against the little ones. And it shall come to pass in all that land, says the Most High, that 2/3 in it shall be cut off and die, but 1/3 shall be left in it. I will bring the 1/3 to the fire, will refine them as silver is refined, and test them as gold is tested. They will call on my name, and I will answer them, and I will say, This is my people. Each one will say, Yahweh is my Elohim. Glorified be your name, Abba. He's talking about the remnant, the 1/3. See, 1/3 of the southern kingdom, the darker brothers, and the northern kingdom. Us, it's going to be saved. And it says right here that 2/3, man. That's all you Christians, you Catholics, you Muslims, any other worldly religion fucks. It says right here, that all those idolatry is done, and we are already there. Now the last chapter of Zechariah, the day of the Lord, which is coming upon us very, very, very rapidly. Behold, the day of the Most High is coming, and your spoil will be divided in your midst. For I will gather all the nations to battle against Jerusalem. The city shall be taken, the house rifled, and the woman ravished. Half the city shall go into captivity, but the remnants of the people shall not be cut off from their city. Then the Most High will go forth and fight against those nations, as he fights in the day of battle. And in that day, that means chariots, the weapons of his indignation. In that day his feet will stand on the Mount of Olives, which faces Jerusalem on the east. And the Mount of Olives shall be split in two from east to west, making a very large valley. Half of the mountain shall be moved towards the north, and the other half of it towards the south. Then you shall be flee through my mountain valley, for the mountain valley shall reach to Azal. Yes, you shall flee, as you fled from the earthquake in the days of Uzziah, king of Judah. Thus the Most High will come, and all the saints with you. It shall come to pass, that means Yahweh Shai, his glory. It shall come to pass in that day that there will be no light, the lights will be diminished. It shall be one day which is known to the Most High, neither day nor night. But at the evening time it shall happen that it will be light. And in that day it shall be that living water shall flow from Jerusalem, half of them towards the eastern sea, and the other half of them towards the western sea. In both summer and winter it shall occur. And the Most High shall be king over all the earth. In that day it shall be, the Most High is one, and his name is one. And all the land shall be turned into a plain from Geba to Rimmon, south of Jerusalem, shall be raised up, and inhabitants in her place from Benjamin's gate to the place of first gate and the corner gate, and from the tower of Hananel to the king's winespread. The people shall dwell in it, and no longer shall there be utter destruction, but Jerusalem shall be safely inhabited. And this shall be the plague with which the Most High will strike all the people who fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall dissolve while they stand on their feet. That means nuclear and thermal fire. And their eyes shall dissolve in their sockets, and their tongues shall dissolve in their mouth. It shall come to pass on that day that a great panic from the Most High will be amongst them. Everyone will seize the hand of their neighbors and raise his hand against his neighbor's hand. Judah will also fight at Jerusalem, and the wealth of the surrounding nations shall be gathered together. gold, silver, and apparel in great abundance. Such also shall be plagued on the horse and the mule, and the camel and the donkey, and all the cattle will be in those camps, so shall this plague be. Okay, man, it's talking about, when Yahweh Shai, returns, he's gonna whoop everybody's ass, man. Everybody, man. 2/3 Kunjaks, the wicked Edomite devils, the heathens, and only the good people of those nations, and the 1/3 are gonna make it. The nations worship the king, it says, and it shall come to pass that everyone who is left of all the nations, glorified be your name, shall come against Jerusalem, shall go up from year to year to worship the king, the Lord of hosts, and to keep the feast of tabernacles. See, you're going to keep our feasts. The whole world is, and it shall be that whichever of the families of the earth do not come up to Jerusalem to worship the king, the Lord of hosts, on them there will be no rain. If the family of Egypt will not come up and enter it, they shall have no rain. They shall receive the plague with which the Most High strikes nations who do not come up to keep the Feast of Tabernacles. This shall be the punishment of Egypt. That means, America. And the punishment of all the nations that do not come up to keep the Feast of Tabernacles. In that day, the holiness of the Most High shall be engraved in the bells of the horses. The pots in the Lord's house shall be like bowls before the altar. Yes, every pot in Jerusalem and Judah shall be holiness to the Most High. Everyone who sacrifices shall come and take them and cook them. In that day, there shall no longer be a Canaanite in the house of the Most High. That means that everybody's going to pretty much be Israelite or Israelite foreigner, man. You know what I'm saying? That's going to be the future New Jerusalem, man. You know what I'm saying? And, we're being restored, all these struggles, it should be an exhortation to you. You should be happy because that means that the countdown's coming for us to be delivered. And you know what? I'm going to end it with Lamentations chapter 5. You know what I'm saying? The book of Lamentations was written by Jeremiah, which you guys know as Jeremiah, one of the main prophets. So in chapter 5, it says a prayer for restoration, because that's what we're doing, getting restored, man, restoration. Remember, O Yahweh Elohim, what has come upon us. Look and behold our reproach. Our inheritance has been turned over to aliens, man. Yeah, man, to these foreigners, man. And our houses to foreigners. We have become orphans and waifs. Our mothers are like widows. We pay for the water we drink, and our wood comes at a price. They pursue at our heels. We labor and have no rest. We have given our hands to the Egyptians and the Syrians to be satisfied with bread. Our fathers sin and are no more, but we bear their iniquity. Servants rule over us. There is none to deliver us from their hands. We get our bread at the risk of our lives because of the sword in the wilderness. Our skin is hot as oven because of the fever of famine. They ravished the women in Sion, the maidens in the city of Judah. Princes were hung up by their hands, and the elders were not respected. Young men grind at the millstone, boys stagger under loads of wood. The elders have ceased gathering at the gate, and the young men from their music. The joy of our heart has ceased, our dance has turned into mourning. The crown has fallen from our head. Woe to us, for we have sinned. Yeah, it means that we have repented, man. For being Christians, for being Catholics, for being Muslims, for being anything that is not Israelite. And I'm talking about Israeli, man. That's some other shit. I'm talking about Israelite, man. Joshua, so-called African Americans, Latinos, Native Americans, the real children. Because of this, our heart is faint. Because of these things, our eyes grow dim. Because of Mount Sinai, which is desolate, with foxes walking about on it. You, O Yahweh Elohim, remain forever, your throne from generation to generation. Why do you forget us forever and forsake us for so long? Turn us back to you, O Yahweh Elohim. We will be restored. Renew our days as of old, unless you have utterly rejected us and are very angry with us. Okay, man, that's the end of that, man. Gonna be restored, man. Y'all gotta hang in there. Don't be afraid, man. This is crunch time, man. And if you're not gonna, if you can't handle the heat now, then you're not gonna be able to handle it later. Look here, I'm gonna finish it with Psalms 64, right? It says, oppressed by the wicked, but rejoicing in the Lord. Hear my voice, O Yahweh Elohim, in my meditation. Preserve my life from fear of the enemy. Hide me from the secret plots of the wicked. Yeah, this coronavirus fronting shit, fake shit, because the economy's crashing. That's what they're hiding behind this, man, just so you know. Hide me from the secret plots of the wicked, from the rebellion of the workers of iniquity, who sharpen their tongues like swords. Yeah, they lie, and bend their bows to shoot their arrows bitter words. But that they may shoot in secret at the blameless. Suddenly they shoot at him and do not fear. They encourage themselves in an evil manner. They talk of laying snares secretly. They say, who will see them? They devise iniquities. We have perfected a shrewd scheme. Both the inward thought and the heart of man are deep. But Yahweh the Most High shall shoot at them with an arrow. Suddenly they shall be wounded. So he will make them stumble over their own tongue. All who see them shall flee away. All men shall fear, and all shall declare the works of the Most High, for they shall wisely consider his doing. The righteous shall be glad in Yahweh our Elohim, and trust in him, and all the upright in heart shall glory. Yeah, man, so see, man, you shouldn't be sweating nothing, man. You know, this devil's a fucking liar, man, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know, coronavirus is just a fronting for the, the depth that these fools have, man. It's like imploded, man. You know what I'm saying? So they had to shut down the world, man, you know, so they could, usher in, FEMA camps, martial law, all that shit. But the Most High is going to stop them in the tracks. They won't be able to get the new world order off the ground, man. And on that note, shalom.